Okay, I feel like this is an important video. um, as you know, I've been going to the Christian church, and I went again. Um, as I feel, and I'm pretty sure that's what God wants me to do is, keep going to the Christian church, keep doing that, and uh, try to be a part of it. Meet people, and all that. Um, which I do think it's helpful, but every time, you know, God talks to me through different ways. He never says it in a loud voice to me. You know what I'm saying? It's always through different ways. That's his thing. That's how God does things. I'm not sure why, but that's how he does things. He talks through other people. You know, he doesn't say he doesn't say in a loud voice out loud what you need to do for whatever reason. He doesn't set you straight in a loud voice. You know, like a like a direct. You know what I'm saying? He never does that he never for whatever reason. That's how God rolls, and I don't I don't try to understand it, but I'm sure you guys figured that out as well. God just talks to you through different ways, instead of just saying right to your face, out loud, you know. But I'm sure he has his reasons. I'm sure it's the better way, that the way he does things. I'm sure it is. So, but anyways, like I said, he always knows where I am. So anywhere I am, he can talk to me and instruct me through other people, which is what he did today again. So at the Christian church. But basically, um, what I learned was the main thing. What I learned was is I need to have real friends. Um, I need to be a real friend as well. I need to try to be a real friend, and I need real friends uh, in this life because I wasn't designed. God didn't design me to walk alone. That's what I learned. Even though I'm mostly an introvert, um, he still didn't design me to walk alone, even though I'm an introvert mostly. So that's what I learned, and also that something that was key as well, um, is that when Jesus was on the earth, he could have done his whole mission without making any friends, not connecting with anybody. But that's not what God wanted. That's not what the Father wanted. So um, Jesus connected with a lot of people. Had friends, tried to make friends. With disciples and apostles. He tried to do that. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like he wants the same for me. Like he doesn't want me to just fly solo, do his will by myself. Like I want, just get it done by myself. um, so he knows I don't really trust a lot of people or things. So I'm just like, um, but I just saw somebody like a second ago that I haven't seen in a while, and they said I look really good compared to, so I feel like I'm doing good, better than I think I am, um, based off that interaction I just had with somebody I haven't seen in a long time. Um, Pretty much one of my doctors. I met him in a parking lot. We were talking. No accident, no accident, for sure. Um, that I ran into him. um, so, but I was telling him like, how do I used to see him, but he moved locations. But I'm like, try to make me your doc. I want you to be my doctor again because he's really good. So, um, so basically, he's gonna try to make that happen. Make me one of his uh, people that he sees again because he was really good. He tried to help me for real, and I notice those things when someone tries to help me for real, like a doctor or something, and they mean it, that means something to me for sure. And God knows that means something to me. not one of those doctors that's just hi bye, you know what I'm saying? Not one of those hi bye doctors, you know. Fuck that shit. um, so um, I think I ran into him on purpose for sure, because he was a really good doctor for me. Um, as one of my main doctors, he was really good. He got shit done. You know, he gave a shit. He actually gave a shit, and that means something to me, because a lot of people in the medical field, they don't really give a shit about their patients. The people they see, they don't care for real, is what I'm saying. You know, so the people the 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 people in the medical field, the doctors and stuff that I know that actually care for real, that sticks with me. I remember that, and God knows that I remember that kind of thing, for sure. But anyways, um, back to the topic. And another thing that was talked about that I think was directed at me is like, um, just because I'm maybe an influencer, I don't know if that's what I am. I don't see myself as that, but maybe I'm an influencer by doing YouTube. Um, that doesn't mean that the people that see me or follow me are my real friends. Basically, it's not real. Basically, is what I was told. Just like, you know, and I'm sure you guys like really care, and you know what I'm saying. But in real life, like, it's not like we're real friends and real, you know what I'm saying, like hanging out and stuff. And I think that's what God wanted me to realize. It's just like, it's kind of um, not real as like connecting with people at a Christian church. Basically, he would rather me. This is what I'm saying. He'd rather me connect with people and be friends with people in real life at a Christian church, you know, and really interact with real people and try to be friends with real people, like physically. And that's kind of what I got from it, you know, rather than just YouTube friends. Even though I feel like he gave me the YouTube community, God gave me the YouTube community. So that's kind of confusing, but he gave me the YouTube community, in my opinion. I didn't do it. But he did, you know. So for whatever reason, but I feel like the YouTube community helps as well. Even though they're not physically in my life, it does help me to have a YouTube community, and he knows that. So it's not totally a waste, in my opinion. So, but anyways, another thing I learned, that I feel like was important, um, is like, um, even though I'm trying to speak truth, do I really have the caring empathy behind it? Like, do I really care? You know, like I should, you know? And maybe I don't, and I'm just speaking truth and just, you know, maybe doing it the wrong way, you know, not doing it from a total place of real empathy, basically. And I admit that. So, I feel like God wanted me to really think about that, you know, that even though I am speaking truth, um, am I doing it for the right reasons? Like, do I really care about the people I'm talking to? You know what I'm saying? I feel like I do, you know, to an extent. But like I said, I don't care about people like he does, like God does, and I admit that. But I feel like he wants me to, you know, he wants me to develop that caring, that kindness, that empathy, you know, to kind of be more like Jesus, with the caring. But he knows I'm not close to that. I'm not close to caring about people or that humanity like Jesus is, and I admit that. But he doesn't think it's impossible for me to get to that point. I don't think, but it's interesting how God has to instruct me, because he knows I'm one of his most rebellious children, straight up. That's on the earth ever. I'm one of his most rebellious, and he knows that. So, and I'm kind of like, I know you're my father, but you didn't really defend me at all, from everything. So why should I listen to your instruction totally? And you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know what's best? I'm still kind of like that, and I admit that, but I need to get over that. But I feel like I am, because I am listening. I am trying to learn and change. I am, and God knows I'm trying to do that. But anyways, he was talking about, like, I need to be a friend. To be a friend, I have to encourage. I have to laugh with friends. I have to do certain things, to be a friend. And basically, he wants me to have real, true friends besides Jesus. That's what I'm getting at. Besides just Jesus. Because, in the sermon, he said, and this was no accident, that Jesus is closer than a friend or a brother, which I agree with. He is way closer than either of those titles. I mean, and he's loyal. I mean, crazy loyal. Like, he's the most loyal person I've ever come across. Jesus is most loyal. I mean, it's crazy loyal. I'm like, I would never stick with me this long. Never. And help me this far. Never. I would never be loyal to me like this. But Jesus is. So, crazy loyalty. But I know I won't find that kind of loyalty in a person on earth. I know that. Not on Jesus's level of loyalty and being close. I won't find anybody that. But he still wants me to try to find people in real life that I can trust and I can be a friend to. And I'm putting myself out there. I'm meeting people. I'm trying to be there. I'm trying to be present for God. I'm really trying, be who he wants me to be and be where he wants me to be. And basically, even if I don't understand the reasons of why he wants me to be certain places, even if he knows why, God knows why he wants me to be certain places, do certain things. He knows why. So he's basically like, he's the father. He's my father that knows that I wasn't really raised properly. So he's trying to raise me or instruct me properly, as a father would try to instruct his wayward son, is what it feels like. But he knows I'm not like Jesus, like totally obedient the whole way. He knows I'm not like that, so he has to talk to me a certain way, different way. He has to instruct me a different way than he would Jesus, for example, a totally different way. But at the same time, he wants me to feel like I'm as important as Jesus was or is. That's what I feel like he wanted me to feel like today. Like I'm just as important son one of his sons as Jesus is. And so I know that pisses people off though, but I feel like that's how he wants me to feel for me to have more self-esteem, think higher of myself, basically. But anyways, but yeah, but I don't really care for church that much, but I'm doing it for God, basically. He knows a better way. He knows how it will help me, and I feel like that's true. It is kind of helping me in a lot of ways, because he doesn't want me to fly solo or isolate. He doesn't want that, and that's what I learned from the sermon. He doesn't want me to fly solo or have no friends. He wants me to have friends, like Jesus did. On the earth, he wants me to have similar, like loyal friends, real friends, true friends. Try to be a friend like that. And I admit I struggled to be a friend, because like I feel like they're gonna betray me, or use me, because that's happened before. That's definitely happened. So I have to be smart about it, of who I allow in my life to be my friend. And so, but anyways, another thing I've learned is, like, in church, is like we all have a common enemy. Like the Germans and the Russians, like, teamed up against these wolves that were tearing people up on the battlefield. These wolves. So they put aside their differences, the Germans and the Russians. I never heard this story before, but till today. So they put aside their differences, to try to take out these wolves that were tearing everybody apart on the battlefield. So these two different communities that were at war with each other, they united to try to take out these wolves. And I feel like that's what God wanted me to realize, is like, despite all these different communities, like, out there, we still have a common enemy, in my opinion, that's targeting all of us. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with that. The the roar the enemy goes around like a roaring lion, seeking to devour anybody. And I agree with that. So we all have that common enemy, despite the different communities, despite the differences. And I think that's kind of why he wants all these communities to kind of, maybe that's why he wants a lot of communities to know me and listen to me, to, like, unite us, basically, because even I agree we can't do this alone. I know I can't. Like, this plan, or this road that I'm on, that God has me on, I can't do it alone. I can't do it without people, friends, and I admit that. So he wants me to have more people, more friends than just Jesus. Nothing wrong with Jesus, but he wants me to have more than that. So that's the message I really got from today, basically. So it's been a pretty enlightening day, pretty good day. So I don't know. I feel like I don't meet people by accident, like in parking lots, never by accident, but anyways, so, and I think he wants me to realize that, to focus more on in real life than the YouTube, world, because there's a disconnect, you know. There's um, I shouldn't think that it's the only world out there, you know, just the YouTube world, because I feel like he wants me to be part of the real world, like connecting to people in real life, you know. So, but anyways, tell you, I always get put in my place, always, by God, always. So he knows what I'm doing wrong. He knows what I'm doing wrong. Basically, he knows what I'm doing in real life. He knows what I'm doing wrong, basically. And one of the things I'm doing wrong is just flying solo completely. That's one of the things I'm doing wrong, is just flying solo. Basically, is what I learned. Just flying solo and not having friends, real friends, just not trusting anybody, basically. So that's kind of what I'm doing wrong. So I kind of just want to do the mission that he wants me to do, but I feel like part of the mission is making friends with people. So that's part of the mission. So I'm like, shit, I have to make friends with people and be a friend. That's part of the purpose. Yeah. And I feel like I got a yes to that. Like I'm supposed to be a friend and a real friend to people in real life, you know? So, um, but but if I came across one of you guys in real life, I'd try to be your real friend, I feel like. So, pretty sure. But anyways, I know some of you guys are um, a lot like Jesus in a way. Like, you're loyal friend, you know, you're trustworthy, you're honest, you know. A lot of you are like that, and I know that. So, um, anyways, that's pretty much the message of the day, you know. Just like God telling me straight up, just tell me, I did not design you to walk alone. I did not make you to walk alone. That was the message, you know. Even though I'm pretty introverted, you know, he's like, that doesn't matter. I still designed you to not walk alone. So, in real life, you know. So that's kind of the message I got from it today. So, and the guy, they also talked about a general in the Bible. I didn't know there was any generals in the Bible. Like, I forget the general's name, Kazoo or something like, I don't know. It's hard for me to remember that kind of thing, but there's a general in the Bible, and I think God wanted me to hear that. A general, you know. So all right, talking about generals now. You know, but, but I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, that's bullshit. You're not God's general." Seems like I am. You know, feels like I am. You know, so um, like God's making me remember who I am, basically, to Him, who I really am. But, I know a lot of people be like, "That's delusional," but I don't think it is. You know, based on everything I've learned in this life, like, um, yeah, that's all I'll say. Just like, anyways, doesn't matter anyways. Like, despite any of that, I still gotta walk this road and try to do God's will, despite any. Doesn't matter who I am, to God, in my opinion. Like, I still gotta do His will. Just like Jesus was like, I gotta do the Father's will. That's kind of how I am now. Just like, I gotta do His will. It doesn't matter about accolades or who the hell I am, or it doesn't matter about any of that anymore. So none of that stuff matters or makes me happy anyways. So I think only God knows what will make me happy, and that's kind of why I'm walking this road. He knows what will make me happy in this life, basically. So, but I feel like I'm doing good. Just seeing that person I haven't seen in a while, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. So, better than I think. So, but anyways, that was pretty much the message of today. It was just like, I know you want to be alone. I know you want to isolate. I know you don't want to have friends. I know you don't know how to be a friend, but I want you to try to be a friend. I want you to learn how to be a friend. I want you to have friends and not just expect people to be my friend. I want me, he wants Adam to be a friend to somebody else. Like, learn how to be a friend, a real friend to somebody else. Because he knows I struggle with that, like me, myself, being a friend to somebody else, instead of them being a friend to me, basically. Because I don't feel like I was taught how to be a friend, like a real friend to somebody. I wasn't really taught. I mean, I feel like Jesus is teaching me what a real friend is, in an extreme way. He's a real friend. He's teaching me what a real friend should be, basically. But I know I won't find anybody like Jesus. He knows that. I won't. Not in real life, that trustworthy, that loyal, no matter what I say or do, or, I won't find anybody. And I know that. So, but there are people out there that he feels are trustworthy, that are loyal, that can find, eventually. He feels like they're out there, and maybe that's why I went to the Christian church, because maybe some of them are there that could be a real friend, and I could be a real friend to them and be trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he sees, the potential. You know what I'm saying? Basically. So, and I think he wanted me to realize that just being an influencer or something, it doesn't mean much, really. Like, if it's just that, and I'm alone in real life, being an influencer doesn't mean much, And I think he wanted me to know that. So it means more to be connected in real life, to people. I think that's what he's telling me, than trying to connect with people over YouTube, basically. Even though I feel like he wants me to connect with people over YouTube still. So it's confusing, but he wants me to connect more with people in real life. It feels like that's what he really wants. That's like the next step. Is he wants me to connect more with people in real life, be real friends with people in real life. And I'm sure in real life, if some of you haven't met me in real life, I'm sure we could be friends. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure we could be. I feel like there's a lot of common ground, a lot of relatability. A lot of us have experienced the love of God and the love of Jesus. A lot of us have experienced that. Despite how hard our lives have been, we experienced the love of God. despite that, a lot of us have that commonality. Despite what we label ourselves as, or you know what I mean, what we see ourselves as, we still have that commonality. Basically, we're all God's children, basically, on this planet together. We're all His children on this planet together, and He wanted me to realize that we're not alone, even if we think we're alone. He wants me to try to reach out to that loner, that person that thinks they're alone. That's another thing I got. He wants me to reach out to that person that thinks they're alone, because I know what that's like, to think you're completely alone in this world and in this life. I know what that's like, and it's pretty shitty to feel totally alone. So I feel like He really wants me to reach out to those loners, those outcasts of society that nobody cares about in society. I feel like He wants me to reach out to them, especially, because He knows I've been in that position. I know what it's like, basically. So I can definitely empathize with it, and He knows that. So but basically that's all I want to say. Just God just kind of put me in my place again, in a way. He always instructs me like a father would. As I keep going, like, I'm just like, yeah, my father's talking to me again and trying to set me straight in a lot of ways. Trying to show me what I'm doing wrong, basically. In real life, he's showing me what I'm doing wrong. And showing me how He wants me to change it and correct it. Basically, is what I always get out of it. Anytime I go to a church or something, God's trying to correct me, what I'm doing wrong, like a father would, basically correct his son. Because I feel like, with Jesus, He didn't really have to correct him that much at all. But with me, He does. He has to correct me and guide me and teach me stuff, and like a father would, because I didn't really have a father figure, a real one, that taught me how to be a man, how to, all that stuff I didn't really have, and He knows that. So anyways, that's all I pretty much wanted to say for this video, but just gotta think about it, what He told me, and apply it, basically, and not just ignore it. So even though I may be an influencer or something, like, I don't really see myself as that. I just kind of talk my mind and what I want to talk about. At the time, what I want to talk about is what I talk about. So it's not like I'm trying to influence. I'm not really. I'm just kind of talking what I want to talk about. Whatever's going on at the time, whatever I'm dealing with at the time. Basically, as I keep going on this path, basically. So, but anyways, I think he was trying to say, like, even though you may be an influencer, you're still kind of alone. And I think that, yeah, that's the message. It's like, you're still kind of alone. Even though you're an influencer and you have subscribers and all that, you're still kind of alone in real life. And that's kind of what he was telling me. And he's like, I don't want you to be alone in real life. I designed you to not be alone, basically, is what I got from today. Just like, designed you to not be alone. Jesus had friends. he made friends, so I want you to make friends as well, so more than just being friends with Jesus, I want you to make friends with people in real life. That's the message I got. I feel like I got a yes for that just now. So basically, so anyways, yeah, that's good enough for this video, I feel like. But just kind of talking about what God was telling me today, and that the digital world doesn't really mean too much, really, compared to the real world. I feel like that's what he was trying to tell me today. So he wants me to be more interacting, and I'm trying to be more interacting in the real world, like going to Christian church, interacting with people for real. Like, I'm really trying to show up and, represent myself and represent God in a way. I'm really trying to do what I feel he wants me to do. So he knows that I'm trying. He knows I'm no Jesus. He knows that. He knows he's not dealing with Jesus with me. He knows that. So he already knows what he's dealing with me. So so I can't help that. Would Jesus listen to heavy metal on the way to church? No, but I would. I do. That's just me. He knows that. So, but he accepts me as I am with that. So um, he knows I like heavy metal. Always have. So I can relate to it. It's the only kind of music I can relate to is heavy metal, because of the shit I've gone through. Like, heavy metal sings about that heavy shit, the hard shit that someone goes through in life. Heavy metal sings about it, and God knows that. So I can relate to heavy metal like you would not believe. Like, all these heavy songs, I relate to it. People going through hard shit, I relate to it. So that's why I listen to it. Other music doesn't do that. I can't relate to it. It's too light. It's too flowery. It's too, you know what I mean? It's not. It it doesn't really relate to the hard shit, basically, that I've been through, like heavy metal does. That's what I've noticed about heavy metal. It talks about the shit that no one talks about, the heavy shit, that people go through in life. So that's kind of why I relate to it. Always have. So, because they're not afraid to sing about the ugly stuff of life. Heavy metal isn't. So anyways, that's enough about that. But I have been listening to, over the last few months, more Christian music, last 4 months, which is pretty good, uplifting stuff. But anyways, that's pretty much all I want to say for this video. Is God just instructed me, basically set me straight. Like, even though I can speak truth, and he knows I can speak truth, I need to have some empathy behind it. You know what I'm saying? I need to care. You know what I'm saying? And not just spit out truth just to shock people. You know what I'm saying? And just because. And I think he's trying to correct me on that. Because I know Jesus wouldn't do that. He wouldn't just speak out truth just to shock people, and not have love behind it. He wouldn't do that. I know that. So, but like I said, I'm not Jesus. I don't do things like him. I don't think like him. So I'm not even close to him. So I'm just doing my best with who I am currently. That's how I am. I'm doing my best with who I am, basically. But God's trying to make me more than who I am. He's trying to correct me, basically, like a father would correct his son. He's trying to correct me on a lot of things. That's what I feel like I got from today at church. He's trying to correct me on a lot of things. I don't care that the church is maybe it's just going for the money or whatever. It's just going for different reasons. God will still use it to talk to me. It doesn't matter about what anything, if that makes sense. Like if there's any bullshit going on, God will still try to talk to me. In any environment, God will try to talk to me and try to correct me on what he sees as a weakness, what I'm doing wrong. And I know I'm kind of doing YouTube wrong, but I'm trying my best, because I feel like he wants me to make videos. He does, but I guess he doesn't want me to get too connected with it, like too attached to the YouTube and stuff. He wants me to be more in the real world. Yes, I feel like a God. Yes, he wants me to be more part of the real world, more so than the